how's it going? Darren Scorza here, the Drum Woodshed channel, and today I decided I was going to do another video here, kind of following up from a video I just posted about a week ago involving some Samba and Bossa development, okay? Happy to be here at night. Fat Tuesday, I don't have a gig, so I decided to work on some Bossa Nova stuff as well instead. Also, the last video, although I am shooting it in the same camera, I did add a microphone here, so hopefully you can pick up my voice a little better and the drums won't kind of overpower too much. But it's still just a one mic, one camera setup. So all off the cuff here, I'll get into it. In this last video that I was talking about, we talked a little bit about instead of playing kind of a constant ostinato in the right hand, we're going to try to use Ted Reed's Syncopation, that great book, and some exercises in there that are not the main 8 exercises that we all practice for jazz independence. Just use them to kind of develop some independence. The goals here are, manyfold, all right? One is I'm trying to break up some kind of like comping patterns that would have me kind of mixing the ideas between the two hands, between the right cymbal hand and the snare drum hand, or putting the left hand on a cymbal. Kind of the idea if I was playing some kashishi patterns or something like that, and getting away from just kind of playing the standard ostinatos that we play for Samba or Bossa Nova. I've seen many players do this and talk about it. And the other idea is just, once we get into playing jazz and we're just playing then we want to start breaking up that ride cymbal pattern. So I want to treat, my Bossa Samba work in the same fashion, if you will. Another thing that kind of got me started on this exercise today is, I guess I'm going to throw a lot of names out, and I encourage you to check all these drummers out, because in my mind right now, Brazilian drumming, along with all kind of Latin world drumming right now, that's where it's at. And these, I'm going to mention probably 3 or 4 drummers here, and I encourage you to check them out. So what got me started on this? Well, one, I've been working out of this book on Hudson music by the great Brazilian drummer Kiko Freitas. And then today, as I was driving around, I was helping my parents out with doing some stuff, and I threw on a YouTube video. I don't watch it, just to listen to, of an interview that the other great, another great Brazilian drummer, Edu Ribeiro, who I've mentioned many times, one of my favorites right now, was interviewing Kiko Freitas. So Edu Ribeiro, Eduribeiro. I might have changed the E-I around now that I'm blanking on camera, but that's one of the great drummers. He plays with all kinds of great musicians, and check him out. Kiko Freitas, little harder to find some of the recordings that he's on, but he sounds great. And then I was also listening to, Edu had been doing these interviews during the COVID times for Open Studio Jazz, where he was interviewing a lot of great drummers. Another one that he interviewed was Rafael Barata, okay? Rafael Barata. He, I think, now lives in the States, that drummer, and he's playing with all kinds of great players too, Leone Elis and all kinds of great, wonderful players. So I've been trying to check them out, and it's been my kind of goal as of COVID to brush up at a couple things. Pocket playing, okay? So I've been checking out a lot of the videos from Herman Matthews and all these other, and the other one was just trying to get my Brazilian stuff together. Don't really get, a lot of calls for that kind of stuff. I do well on my jazz gigs, well enough to keep up, but I've been trying to brush it up. It's just one of my personal goals, because I find that even if I don't use this stuff, the independence and just kind of the musicality that I'm getting out of this helps me a lot. So I'll put on my little, I'm a drum practicing person cape. Second thing is, of course, this is nothing authentic. I'm living 5 miles, or I'm in the room, it's 5 miles or less from my childhood birthplace. I was at the hospital where I was born today, helping my dad out with just some tests. So this is not authentic, all right? I am Norwich, literally a stone's throw from Chicago as they come. So I'm not claiming any of this is authentic, and I'm still working on this. This is a work in progress. But let me get to the exercise. So Kiko Freitas was talking about his development of a rhythm that we sometimes call the fork rhythm, and I'm going to do this all in 4/4 with 16th notes. We could think of it in cut time as well, but for this today, because it matches, Ted Reed Syncopation, that great book, which everyone should own. I'm going to be talking 4/4. So it's just 1E, a 2E, a 3E, a 4E, a 1E, a 2E, a 3E, a 4E. This comes from, Brazilian rhythms played on the tamborim or the Repinique, which is kind of like a drum about that big that has a real poppy sound. Look it up, Repinque. I heard Brazilians today in these interviews pronounce that two different ways, so I'm not going to stick around with it. I'm going to go with Repinique or Repinique, okay? It starts with an R, H, who knows, okay? But check those things out. There's plenty of videos out to see those actual traditional rhythms. But he was mentioning how he applied it to the snare drum after actually taking a lesson of one of our greatest Brazilian masters, Dave Weckl. Wait, what? A lot of these Brazilian drummers really are into Dave Weckl. I even know, I don't use last names for the local guys, but Luis, if you happen to watch this, I know he's a big Dave Weckl fan. And Kiko had taken some lessons with Dave Weckl where they were learning that turn that we've seen Jim Chapin teach a long time ago and Freddie Gruber teach of playing using some molar technique. I'm not going to get into that because I have no idea what they're talking about. I just watch those videos and learn it. And usually when they're teaching that, they're talking about playing 3 notes in a row and using that turn and how he applied it to the fork rhythm. 1E, 2E, a 4E. So accenting it. That's not what I'm going to do here. What I'm going to do is, based off the exercise that I talked about before, we're going to pull out Ted Reed's Progressive Steps to Syncopation. We're going to turn to page 22. This is the same page I used in my recent video last week. And we're just going to take that page. We're going to look at the rhythms. This one starts with what we're going to do is we're going to play standard foot patterns. You could play... mic stand. 1 second. There you go. You could play dead stroke, open, or we're going to play that fork rhythm in the left hand. Don't worry about it being too metronomic. Just keep it flowing, okay? And then we're going to read Syncopation over here. This is also fun because I have all my students buy Syncopation. Most of them do. Some of them don't. Luckily, I have 2 or 3 copies from varying ages, some as gray and grizzled as myself. But we have them, and we only use those 8 pages of exercises later in the book. So I like to find some things to do with the earlier part of the book. Here we go. So we're going to read that first one. The first one, again, is... I should have mentioned, before you do that, you essentially want to practice that with a full bar of 8th notes, and then a full bar of 16th notes, or number 11 on the next page. And now I'll do number 2. Number 5. Tips to get this down at that tempo, which is a little tough to kind of get it flowing. Try to keep your hands behind your feet, meaning it's not the way to go. Drag it out, then it also kind of gets you cool and feeling almost a little triplety. That's number 9. Work all 15 of those up. Then at the bottom of page 23, you're going to try to read the 20-bar exercise and try to phrase it. Let me do it and I'll see how far I can go before I fall apart on it. you go. Work on it, speed it up. You might use your other grip. Okay, very fun. You're going to get some opening. You open that up a little bit. Like I said, I'm still working it out a little bit. You can then also move on and just start playing 24, where you're just going to be playing. I said number 24. I meant page 24. Okay, have fun with that and check it out. And in the end, then you're going to start experimenting with a little more. I've heard Mark Walker do this, where he plays that in the left hand on the hi-hat. Okay. He'll move it on the snare drum. Okay. Can't do it like he does. He's a master at it. I'm just trying to get there, all right? I'm 10 years younger than him, so maybe I'll get there. But then, of course, he had it together when he was 30. 22, I don't even know. Anyway, check this stuff out. So again, we're taking, just to break it down, Ted Reed Syncopation, page 22. You're throwing the fork rhythm or this little... Have fun.